Hello and welcome to today's topic. What is Tantra? We are going to be defining what to understand about Tantra because there has been a lot of misinterpretation and misunderstanding what Tantra is today. We understand that it's something to do with sex, but Tantra is more than sex. Hello, my name is Angelina Kavita, and I am the founder of Return of the Diva. I assist women to elevate in consciousness and for them to master their feminine vibration. Today, we are defining what Tantra is in a much broader and deeper way for you to understand the philosophy that teaches these practices and techniques that are in a way to assist you to reach the divine, for you to become one with the divine. So it's more in depth, a very esoteric way or movement that is placed, that is much more in a very secretive way in the past, in the teachings, that was only disclosed into those who were in connection with the guru or a teacher who taught them what Tantra is. So there was that involvement of a teacher-student relationship as an essential component of defining tantric techniques. The goal of tantric practices is often aimed at uniting one with the God self, one that alignment with the consciousness of with the divine is an essential component. So the oneness. And it's through different techniques like the mantras, meditation, visualization practices, the use of breathwork techniques in theory and in practice, and also the movement of the energies in the body through the energy centers that is the chakra system. The chakras are the energy transmitting centers within the bodies. So this is the cultivation of the sexual energy, which is also known as the Kundalini energy. Mantras are sounds and phrases that are chanted that have a very significant, symbolic, and practical meaning. This is a more famously known as in one of the mantras like the Om. I know you've heard Om because Om is the syllable that activates that God self, that is the name of God. So when you're chanting a mantra, it's like the vibration of the Om in every cell of the body. And it goes like, Om. So this kind of the underlying cosmic sound of vibration at the core of your reality. So in the body, the chakras start from the base, moving up towards the crown of the head. So the base one, that is the root chakra, is kind of the storage of the divine feminine energy, which is called the Kundalini energy, which is the sexual energy. Meaning that it's something that is actually called there, like sometimes associated with the snake god. It looks like a snake that is coiling on your coccyx, on your root chakra, that is the essence of all tantric practices, that is including the mantras and all practices that I've mentioned above, for you to really manipulate that energy, that is that Kundalini energy, so that it can start to move up all the chakra systems of your body, moving that Kundalini energy from the base of your spine to awaken that energy, that coiled snake up from the base to the top of your crown, instigating a mystical experience that is what we call the Kundalini experience today. When we are talking about Tantra, that is in relation to the tradition, it is very heavily focused on the body, using the body as a vessel that is, through this vessel that is your body, for you to attain enlightenment or liberation from suffering. Tantra is life, is you being alive within your body, being in that juiciness that is the aliveness, the deliciousness in your skin. It is forming communities, having those authentic relationships that is not all about denying that part of you that is being human, so suppressing the sexual energy or suppressing the authentic part of you or being shamed of being in this human experience. But Tantra is that convinced macrocosm of the human body and the soul as a reflection, as an identity of the microcosm of the reality. In other words, Tantra is aliveness. It is being in this body that is ultimately a tantric practice, both inside and this. When I say inside, we are talking about the anatomy of the body. We are talking about the nadis of the body. We are talking about the chakra systems, the energy centers within the body. And when I talk about the outside, we are talking about the hands, the tongue, the genitals, the ears, everything to do with the body. So it is in the control of the body as a tool to activate these processes and connecting one to that universal power to reach the goals that you want to reach, of enlightenment, of connectivity, of the aliveness. Tantra is the active, creative, material world, like the fuel that moves this body. So it's that energy. It's also the identification of the feminine divine called the Shakti energy within your body. So realizing that we have both masculine and the feminine energies within our body, so that we can activate all this within ourselves and meet at the center, which is your heart. So when we meet each other as a whole being and accept each other as we are, and that wholeness comes from the recognizing that we have these two energies within ourselves, that is the masculine and the feminine, which is the positive and the negative, which is the Shiva and the Shakti energies, the yin and the yang. This is the whole part of the tantric journey. As for me, it was until I harmonized that energy within myself that my life began to change. And this is what I do when I'm working with my clients. We work in harmonizing these two energies within ourselves so that we can really meet each other in this half and know each other on the other half that lives within ourselves. So all these energies, in other words, are inside of us. So some of us have the masculine suppressed within ourselves, or we have the feminine suppressed within ourselves. And that's why we seek all these validations from outside. But when we harmonize the energies within ourselves, that the Shiva is the divine supreme essence of the consciousness, where it sees itself as consciousness, which is the mind, the thought, that is the masculine energy. And through this vibration and this consciousness, that all things are created. And it's in this awareness that we activate this part of the divine. The Shakti energy is the divine counterpart of the creative, which is this body, this manifestation that is the feminine, and it's the world itself, the physical manifestation that is the feminine energy. So that is the creator energy. The feminine energy is the creative energy. It's the sex energy. And that is where everything sprouts from. There is so much suffering in this planet because people are seeking validation from outside when we have all this within ourselves. We are desperately looking or waiting for someone to come and complete us, to come and rescue us out of our suffering. And this is negating the fact that we can harmonize these principles within ourselves, because the end of suffering will end with you harmonizing these two within yourself and realizing that everything that you need is actually truly inside of you, and that you are whole and complete within yourself. So you don't have to wait to meet another for you to become whole. Although having another, when you have harmonized that, is just going to complement that energy within yourself, because the relationship you have with the other is a mirror of the energy you have with yourself. So this is so beautiful to know that Tantra is a place where we can find that union, that experience, that sacred union. And that is another way of defining that love frequency that we are all waiting for to experience, or that we have experienced. Tantra framework is a healing modality that focuses mainly on the body as a spiritual vessel for spiritual development and enlightenment. So the body is the vessel. The body is the temple that divine manifest, that the divine experience from. And this is the experience of sex, because that is the creative energy. It's not only the way we have known it to be so misunderstood, because we are being taught about this divine energy from very distorted places. So it's the experience of sex in the most powerful creative sense of experience that a human being can have, and how it relates to your body. And this is all in our hearts and all of our consciousness with yourself and with another. So it's that remembering that we are one, and that anything that is not of love and that is not of freedom is an illusion. So Tantra is life itself. It's that wholeness. It's that community. It's that celebration that that celebration of life. We are life itself. So remembering that we are life itself, moment by moment by moment, that is the whole experience of what Tantra is. So there is that misconception that Tantra is all about sex, but it is not all about sex. It's just a philosophy that does not exclude sex. In fact, Tantra does not exclude anything, because it's the all encapsulated of everything in the human experience, including our sexuality. And Tantra actually sees sexuality as a beautiful experience that expounds us into remembering who we really are. And it sees the sexual experience as the ultimate expression of oneness. Here, in yourself, in your own body, and with another. It is that orgasmic energy that is this healing modality of Tantra that helps us to heal or helps us to flush tension within our body, helps us to regulate our nervous system, helps us with the organ health, because it's that creative force, that sexual energy that keeps our organs healthy. It works with the water within our body. It works with our nervous system, helps us move all these energies to all these parts so that we can be in our element as a human being and welcome pleasure as the life force energy. So yes, sexuality is definitely a big part of tantric practices, because Tantra is life itself, and sexual practices are part of life. Meeting your unconscious feelings alive, feeling that community based of being a human being and honestly expressing yourself to another through your emotional body, instead of you shutting down and carrying it as something that is more shameful or a way that you do not want to be seen. So you want to stand tall and claim your space in this planet or in this world, because in realizing that, you are going to realize that you have your inner child that deserves an undivided attention, and that child is still within you. And most of the women that I work with, you have come to realize that until we love the inner child, we are just little girls running around the world as adults in an adult body. And until you start to take care of that inner child and mother that inner child, not relying on anyone or your partner or your mother to come and show you the love that you do not have, but actually parenting that child and teaching that inner child that you are going to start to become the woman that you are. And you're going to see all this are going to affect how you show up in a relationship, how you show up in your business, how you show up in the world, because these are the wounds that we come with until we are in a place where we understand how to release our suffering and really embody that within ourselves, so we can live in that self-aware or enlightened state. So when you see these parts of you that are not in alignment, and you discover that you have more dominant masculine energy when you are in your feminine body, or your partner is showing up in more a feminine energy and not in a masculine energy, you are going to see that there is not a balance within your relationship or within yourself. But it all starts with yourself first, to see that there is your energies are not in harmony. So whichever gender you are in, you are going to discover that. So in the male body, they discover that in their feminine energy shows up as that playfulness, that joy, that creativity, that sensitivity within their body. But of course, in the society we live in, the men have been shown how to shut that down within themselves. So of course, their feminine energy it's skewed. But you also find that when you are in your feminine body, that your masculine energy is going to show up in that either you're going to be so much predominantly in your masculine energy, and the masculine energy is not in harmony, because you are in your physicality, you're in a feminine body. And in the feminine body, we want to be more in our feminine. We want to be more in the softer kind of, we want to be in the flow. We want to be compassionate and kind. We want to be in our innocence, in that playfulness, so that we can be in our hearts, because the heart is more the emotional center. The masculine energy within a feminine body is that awareness, that drive, that action taker, that go-getter attitude. But when you want not to have it in excessively, where you're predominantly in that energy. Why this happens? Because sometimes we find ourselves that we need to be the breadwinners within our families. We are attracted to men who are not fully in their masculine energy. And this is the one that is tipping up the scale, because when you harmonize these energies within yourself, you're going to be in a place where you can attract a more masculine man, and you're going to be in a place where you have the safety to drop down to your feminine body. We are going to be talking all this in the course and in broader in the coming videos. So to understand that the masculine within the body is more about the direction, is more about creating that drive, that focus, that is the go and achieve something attitude within the feminine body, and that is the healthy masculine. So you harmonizing that within yourself, you're going to have that wholeness. And this is what Tantra is all about. You harmonizing that within yourself so that you can have that project outside. So everything is inside of you so that it can be the manifestation of outside, because like we have talked about, that everybody is a mirror of you. So if you're really ready for you to feel whole within your body, instead of you constantly looking outside for somebody to validate you, or looking outside of you for someone to complete you, and living like there is always something that is missing within you. If you are ready for that, and you are done with feeling all these missing parts of you with either addictions or with social media, pornography, events, all these things that we try to fill the gaps within ourselves with, and you are ready to embrace that wholeness within yourself and feel whole in your mind, and that independence on that is independent of nothing other than you being full within your energy and being in your heart, feeling that completeness within your body, which is actually the most fantastic feeling in your awakening as a whole. Tap in those resources that you've been told everything that you need is inside of you. Come and check out my website, www.returnofthediva.co.ke, where we start to harmonize that, awaken that within yourself, bring joy even when there is pain. Then this is the call for you. There are a lot of masterclasses that I have taught in my YouTube channel to help you really advance in your growth, evolve as a soul, wherever you are. We have also online curriculums, Phenomenal Woman. We have courses like Feminine Magic that is going to awaken your womb energy, for you to really take the next step on your path towards becoming whole and embracing that wholeness in your human experience. I look forward to meeting all of you, walking this path with you, and really I'm grateful for you taking the time to watch this video. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe for you to know when I post the next video. And until next video, I look forward to meeting you. Bye for now.